Ladies and gentlemen, I've been meaning to do a video like this for a very long time, and I'm going to get right to it. I've been making these observations for a very long time now, the last couple of years, and just like I've been telling you, there is an interracial agenda like no other because it was not happening like this, it was not being pushed like this when I was a kid, but now it is everywhere. You see it in television shows, you see it in movies, you see it in a lot of advertisements as of late. Now, interracial dating is nothing new, but the agenda being pushed for it is very, very new, as we have never seen this volume of these particular pairings being pushed as much as we see it today. They did it with the black man and the white woman, but more recently they are doing it now more than ever with black females and white men. Case in point, a video game, as these video games are actually being incorporated with this shit as well as cartoons. My favorite pastime being video games, of course. And there's a game called Twin Mirror that was just released, and as you can see, there's a black female right there, and there's a white man right there. They were in a relationship. She was also in a relationship with another white man, so bedwench time, I guess, right? So this is what these white males do. They make these lead characters, these white men characters who are in relationship with these black women, okay? Because apparently black men can't do as well as white men and get these women. So the interracial agenda is being pushed in these games, and I can't enjoy a game where an agenda is being pushed. I want to enjoy games as I've always enjoy them for the story. This interracial agenda does not need to be in this game at all, in any game. It's their game, so they did what they want to do, I understand that, but this is something that I would never play, because as a black man, I'm not getting anything out of this. I don't like any game or any television show, series, or ad or movie that pairs a black woman with a white man, nor do I like black men being paired with non-black women, especially white women. I don't see anything that will make me smile with that pairing. And it's not me being hateful. I'm not hateful at all. When I grew up, I saw my people together, and you barely see it. I've said it numerous times, but people will still argue with me and tell me that I'm full of shit, that I'm hateful, and it's because people like me that the racism continues. I don't have any racism in my heart at all. I like to see black women with black men. I like to see black men with black women. That's all there is to it. Now, when I play certain video games, I have the option to date someone who's white. And if I want to, I can do that, but I don't, because I want my black female lead or black male lead that I create in games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age to be with a person of color. Okay? Unfortunately, in Dragon Age, you really can't do that. In Mass Effect, to an extent, you can. And I'm going to talk about that right now as well, because they did the black man dirty in that game. Black representation in video games is very few and far between, but we have been in video games before in the past, as well as the present. You have games like Streets of Rage that has Adam Hunter, and you have his daughter in Streets of Rage as well. Now, Mass Effect is one of my favorite games of all time, my favorite game series of all time. You have the option to create your own character, which is named Shepard, female or male. You make the character whatever skin tone you wish, okay? So I've made quite a number of characters. I've beaten this game series on a number of different occasions since I've played the entire trilogy, starting back in 2008. All right, so Jacob is one of the characters that you meet in Mass Effect 2. And I'm going to make this as simple as possible because I don't want you guys to get bored, but he's one of the only black characters in the game of the crew that you can actually romance. So, being a black female Shepard, instantly I said, okay, my black female is going to be with the black man. And they had a little romance going in Mass Effect 2, but by Mass Effect 3, something went wrong, and this guy, Jacob, that's his name, he breaks up with you for another woman. They can't even allow the black man to be a good romance option in a video game. It's sad. It really is. But when it comes to a black woman, they almost did the same thing in Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, Dragon Age is a game that I love just as much as I love Mass Effect, and I've romanced a lot of elves in that game because I do like elves. That's the only kind of interracial I'll do. But when it comes to being a black man in the game, the first playthrough that I had, there was a black female by the name of Vivian that is a sorceress. And I wanted to romance her, but you're not allowed to romance this black woman. They won't let you do it. She's in a relationship with a dying old white man who actually does die during the course of the game. You actually help her put him out of his misery, during the course of one of the loyalty missions that you have to do for her for her to become a lot more loyal to your side, to help you in battle. So the black female is not even an option to be romanced in this game, okay? But when it comes to other games, like I just showed you in the beginning, they are allowing a lot of black females to be the romance options of white males. But we're not seeing any black love in video games. Now, I'm not really going to be able to complain about that since I'm not someone that's making video games myself, but it would be nice to see that sort of representation. I showed you what they did in the game like Saints Row. You've got the black males falling victim to, wanting white women and then falling into the trap and almost getting themselves killed. And also in a game like Saints Row, from the very beginning, you had an Asian character named Johnny Gat, who is one of the most badass characters in the game, I might add, in a relationship with a black female known as Aisha. Playing with my woman in a video game is one thing. Competing against her in a tennis game, or competing, against her in any game, like a trivia game, or even being on the same team, taking out enemies at the same time. That's one thing. But you barely see black couples in video games. And like I said, this is not, well, I don't know if I said it at the beginning or not, but this is not an SJW thing. This is just merely an observation that I have recognized for a very long time. We saw Jax in Mortal Kombat 11 with his ending of white supremacy and how many palm-colored people reacted to that. And that was Jax and his daughter and his wife together. One of the few representations of a black family in a video game. The same way that white families are, depicted is the same way that we should see black families depicted. Now, of course, we know not every black family is the same. But there are families out there in the black community that do have a mother and father in the home with the children. And I would like to see that in video games as well as being represented on television and in movies as well. I've seen some movies that have that. I mean, there was a movie I recently watched with my mom called A Christmas Blessing, I believe. It was from 2013. That was about black family and black love, okay? A beautiful fucking movie, I have to admit. But I just wanted to call out the observation that I see in a lot of video games. I mean, I've talked about television shows and stuff, and cartoons and comic books have been doing this. Storm is a victim of this shit. Storm is one of the characters from the X-Men. I'm pretty sure you know her. They paired her with a lot of white men, and when she got with the Black Panther, a lot of people were unhappy that, oh, you're just pairing two black people together. But it's okay to pair two white characters together all the time, right? This doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't. But I'm glad there are games like The Sims 4, The Sims period that's around, because you can create your own family, create your own characters in that game, and I always create black families in that game because I like to see the representation of my people and my community in that game, as well, as a representation of myself and my wife. So I enjoy those games, but I also enjoy the video games, like I said, Mass Effect and Dragon Age and these other games that I play. But when it comes to black men and black women being lovers or, in a relationship, it doesn't really show that many times as much. You'll see a white male with a white woman, or as of late, pairing white males with black females. They've been doing this for a while. I mean, even in the game like Saints Row 3 Remastered. I mean, I bought the remastered version of a game I already have because the remastered version looks even better. And you've got Burt Reynolds making out with a black woman. Okay? Come on.